Nestled deep within the heart of a dense, ancient forest, where trees loomed tall and gnarled, their branches entwined like skeletal fingers, there stood an old, forgotten hotel. Its grandeur, once the pride of the town, now lay obscured beneath layers of ivy that clung desperately to its withered facade, a testament to the relentless passage of time. The hotel's architecture, an intricate dance of Gothic elegance and Victorian opulence, had once beckoned travelers from afar, promising them refuge from the outside world. But now, its windows were like empty eyes, staring blankly into the abyss, and its walls bore the scars of decades of neglect and abandonment. Local legends, whispered around campfires and passed down through generations, spoke of the hotel's tragic history that had woven itself into the fabric of the town's identity. It was said that a once prosperous family, the Harringtons, had held the keys to this kingdom of luxury and hospitality. For years, the hotel had thrived under their care, a hub of celebrations, whispered secrets, and untold stories. Yet, fate had a cruel design, and on a stormy night that would forever be etched in the town's memory, a devastating fire erupted within the heart of the hotel. The flames roared voraciously, consuming everything in their path: history, dreams, and the lives of the Harrington family. The fire's furious dance painted the night sky in shades of orange and red, a mesmerizing yet horrifying spectacle that drew the townsfolk out of their homes to witness the tragic downfall of a once glorious establishment. The family, trapped within the inferno's grasp, perished amidst the chaos, their anguished cries merging with the crackling of timbers and the mournful howl of the wind. The hotel, a silent witness to the agony that unfolded within its walls, bore the scars of that night, its once pristine corridors forever marked by the searing touch of flames. The town mourned the loss of the Harringtons and their grand hotel, but over the years, as new generations emerged and the memory of that fateful night faded, the hotel slipped into obscurity. Nature, relentless in its reclamation, began to weave its tendrils around the building, gradually erasing the traces of human presence. Vines snaked their way across the crumbling brickwork, their grip unyielding, as if attempting to reclaim the edifice for the earth itself. Animals found refuge within the shattered windows and crumbling doorways, and the hotel became a haven for whispers, myths, and curious glances cast from afar. And so, the forgotten hotel stood as a spectral sentinel, its splendor eclipsed by the passage of time, its halls echoing with the distant laughter of a bygone era. A masterpiece of architectural marvel now rested in the embrace of nature's embrace, a silent reminder of a once thriving world that had been reduced to whispers in the wind. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, stretching shadows that seemed to reach out like ghostly fingers toward the hotel, a sense of anticipation and unease settled over the group of friends who had ventured into the heart of the forest. Their faces were a mixture of excitement and trepidation as they approached the threshold of the forgotten hotel, armed with flashlights that pierced the encroaching darkness. The first step they took onto the weathered porch sent a shiver down their spines, a physical manifestation of the eerie atmosphere that surrounded them. The floorboards creaked beneath their weight, their protest echoing through the stillness of the night, as if warning them of the secrets that lay within. With a collective breath, they crossed the threshold, the lobby unfolding before them like a scene from a forgotten dream. The lobby, once a grand expanse of marble floors and intricate woodwork, now lay in a state of suspended decay. Dust motes danced in the air, caught in the beams of their flashlights, while cobwebs draped like delicate lace across forgotten corners. A grand chandelier, its crystal pendants dulled by the passage of countless years, hung like a relic of a bygone era, suspended in time. The air within the lobby hung heavy with a silence that seemed almost sentient, as if the hotel itself held its breath, waiting to exhale a long-held secret. The friends exchanged glances, their nerves fraying at the edges, as they hesitated before taking their first tentative steps forward. Every footfall seemed to echo like a thunderclap, a stark reminder of their intrusion into a realm where time had ceased to flow in its conventional rhythm. Their flashlights swept over the walls, revealing remnants of faded wallpaper that had once been adorned with intricate patterns, now reduced to a mosaic of peeling edges and muted colors. A grand staircase ascended toward the upper floors, its banisters worn smooth by the countless hands that had gripped them over the years. The staircase seemed to beckon to them, promising untold mysteries that awaited in the shadows above. As they moved deeper into the lobby, their footsteps echoing through the cavernous space, a haunting melody seemed to drift through the air, faint and elusive. It was as if the very walls retained the music that had once graced these halls, a symphony of life that had long since faded into the recesses of memory. The friends exchanged puzzled glances, their breath catching in their throats as they strained to catch every haunting note. With each step they took, the sense of being watched, of unseen eyes observing their every move, intensified. A whisper of a breeze brushed against their skin, carrying with it a chilling sensation that caused the hairs on their arms to stand on end. They huddled closer together, their flashlights trembling slightly in their grip, as if seeking comfort and reassurance from the warmth of human companionship. And so, in the heart of the forgotten hotel, the friends found themselves suspended between the realms of reality and the supernatural, their presence awakening the echoes of a past that refused to remain confined to the annals of history. The lobby, once a grand stage for celebrations and gatherings, now bore witness to their intrusion, the air charged with a tension that seemed to vibrate with the stories that were etched into the very walls. As the night deepened, a sense of foreboding settled over the group of friends like a heavy fog, their initial excitement giving way to a palpable unease. The atmosphere within the hotel seemed to shift, as if the very walls were watching and waiting with bated breath. The flickering beams of their flashlights cast eerie, dancing shadows that seemed to take on a life of their own, twisting and contorting in ways that played tricks on their already jittery minds. A soft whisper, barely audible, brushed against their ears like a phantom breeze, carrying with it an uncanny chill that seemed to penetrate their very bones. The words, indistinct and fragmented, left them straining to catch their meaning, yet the message remained tantalizingly out of reach, like a puzzle with missing pieces. They exchanged nervous glances, the weight of the unknown pressing down upon them like an invisible hand. The air grew thick with an unsettling tension, as if the very fabric of reality was unraveling around them. Footsteps, faint yet unmistakable, echoed down the dimly lit hallways, each one a haunting reminder of the hotel's past inhabitants. But as they turned to investigate the source of the sound, the corridors lay empty and still, shrouded in a silence that seemed to mock their senses. Their collective breath seemed to hang suspended in the air as they huddled closer together, seeking solace and reassurance from the presence of their companions. The once familiar layout of the hotel had transformed into a labyrinth of uncertainty, its hallways now stretching endlessly into a darkness that seemed to swallow all sense of direction. The walls, adorned with faded wallpaper that bore witness to decades of stories, seemed to lean in closer, as if attempting to share their secrets with the living. As they ventured further into the heart of the hotel, the very essence of the place seemed to seep into their beings, filling them with an unshakable sense of unease. A portrait, its subject a somber-looking woman with piercing eyes, seemed to watch them intently, its gaze following their every move. A vase of dried flowers, an echo of a long-forgotten era, sat atop a dusty table, its presence a stark reminder of the transient nature of beauty and life. A sudden, inexplicable draft sent a shiver through their ranks, the frigid air wrapping around them like an icy embrace. Goosebumps prickled their skin as they exchanged startled glances, their breaths forming misty clouds in the chill. It was as if the very temperature of the room was being manipulated by unseen hands, a spectral touch that sought to remind them of the hotel's lingering presence. Their flashlights flickered and dimmed for a moment, plunging them into a momentary darkness that seemed to stretch into an eternity. Panic welled up within them, threatening to consume their rational thoughts, until, with a flicker, the lights returned, dispelling the shadows that had threatened to overtake them. The relief that washed over them was palpable, as if they had narrowly escaped the clutches of an invisible abyss. And so, as the night pressed on, the friends found themselves entwined in a dance with the supernatural, their perceptions distorted and their senses heightened by the inexplicable occurrences that surrounded them. Each whisper, each shadow, and each chilling breath of air seemed to pull them deeper into the enigmatic heart of the forgotten hotel, where the boundaries between reality and the unknown blurred and merged into a tapestry of fear and fascination. As the moon cast its silvery glow upon the hotel, bathing its decaying exterior in an ethereal light, the friends' curiosity and trepidation reached a fever pitch. Their determination to uncover the secrets of the past propelled them forward, their footsteps echoing through the corridors like a rhythmic heartbeat that seemed to resonate with the very pulse of the hotel. In a corner of a room adorned with remnants of faded grandeur, they stumbled upon a dusty chest, its ornate carvings hinting at the elegance that once graced this forgotten abode. With a mixture of anticipation and caution, they carefully pried open the lid, revealing a trove of old photographs that lay nestled within like precious relics of a time long gone. Each photograph seemed to hold a fragment of the past, frozen in sepia-toned memories that whispered of bygone days. Among the photographs, one image held their gaze with an almost magnetic pull. It depicted a young girl, Emily Harrington, her eyes a mirror to the innocence of youth yet tinged with a melancholy that seemed to reach across time itself. She clutched a tattered teddy bear in her arms, a cherished companion frozen in a moment of captured affection. Beneath the photograph, a faded inscription tugged at their heartstrings, the words taken too soon a haunting reminder of the tragedy that had befallen the Harrington family. Driven by a need to understand the story that had been woven into the very fabric of the hotel, the friends delved into research that unearthed the heart-wrenching truth. The fire that had consumed the hotel had also claimed the lives of the Harrington family, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and unfulfilled dreams. Emily, the young girl immortalized in the photograph, had been just 6 years old when the flames had claimed her, her life cut short in a tragic twist of fate. With each revelation, the weight of the hotel's history settled upon them, an intangible burden that bound their own experiences to the echoes of the past. The photographs, each face a window into a world that had existed long before their time, seemed to watch them with eyes that held secrets they could only begin to fathom. The faded inscription beneath Emily's photograph seemed to speak of a restless spirit, forever tethered to the hotel and the memories that lingered within its walls. As the night wore on, the air within the hotel seemed to shift, growing charged with an energy that was both palpable and enigmatic. Shadows danced on the periphery of their vision, the boundary between the seen and the unseen blurring as if the very fabric of reality was fraying at the edges. It was as if Emily's spirit, trapped within the hotel's confines, was awakening from a slumber of decades, her presence growing stronger as if yearning to share her story. In the hushed moments of the night, the friends gathered in the room where they had discovered the photographs, clutching the tattered teddy bear they had found beneath Emily's image. Their voices, a mixture of reverence and apology, filled the air as they addressed the lingering spirit. They spoke of the tragedy that had befallen her and her family, acknowledging the pain that had woven itself into the very foundation of the hotel. And then, in a moment that seemed to transcend the boundaries of the natural world, a sudden gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlights and plunging them into darkness. In the void, a presence seemed to envelop them, a presence that carried with it an otherworldly sadness and a whispered farewell. The darkness lifted as quickly as it had descended, leaving behind an eerie calmness that replaced the chaos of the preceding moments. The tattered teddy bear slipped from their grasp, its fall a silent testament to the weight of the emotions that had filled the room. As the friends emerged from the chamber, they carried with them a sense of closure, a feeling that their encounter with the past had offered solace not just to Emily's spirit, but also to their own restless curiosity. And so, as the first light of dawn began to paint the horizon, the friends stepped out of the forgotten hotel, their hearts heavy with the weight of the history they had uncovered. The hotel, once a silent sentinel to a tragedy that had all but faded from memory, stood as a living monument to the enduring power of human stories, a place where the past and the present had converged in a haunting tapestry of shared existence. As the night pressed on, a sense of impending resolution settled over the friends, their spirits intermingling with the very essence of the hotel. The moon, a sentinel in the ink-black sky, cast its pale light upon the decaying edifice, turning its weathered features into an otherworldly tableau that seemed to transcend time itself. The group's collective breaths hung in the air, a testament to the anticipation that swirled around them like a mist. With a shared determination that belied their unease, the friends found themselves drawn once more into the heart of the hotel, their steps guided by an invisible force that seemed to beckon them forward. The once familiar corridors, now etched in their memory, seemed to lead them toward an inevitable encounter that promised to unravel the mysteries that had haunted them throughout the night. In a room that had once been a haven for whispered confidences and shared laughter, the friends found themselves standing before the very portrait of Emily Harrington that had stirred their hearts earlier. Her gaze, forever captured in oil and canvas, seemed to pierce through the veil that separated the living from the departed, her eyes holding a wisdom and longing that belied her young age. It was as if her spirit lingered in the room, a spectral presence that had been awakened by their presence. In a hushed chorus, their voices laden with a mix of trepidation and reverence, the friends began to speak, their words weaving a tapestry of acknowledgement and apology. They spoke of the tragedy that had claimed Emily's life and the lives of her family, acknowledging the pain that had lingered within the very walls of the hotel. Their voices, a fragile bridge between the realms of the living and the dead, seemed to carry a plea for understanding and forgiveness. As they spoke, a subtle shift seemed to ripple through the room, the air itself quivering with a resonance that seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy. Shadows danced on the walls, their movements an intricate choreography that mirrored the swirling emotions that filled the space. It was as if the hotel itself was responding to their words, its very foundation echoing with a sense of acknowledgement and release. And then, in a moment that held the breathless anticipation of a symphony's crescendo, a gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlights and plunging them into darkness. In the void, a presence enveloped them, a presence that held within its embrace the weight of Emily's lingering spirit. A chill settled into their bones, a visceral reminder that they were no longer alone. In the inky blackness, their senses seemed to expand, allowing them to perceive the presence that surrounded them in a way that transcended the limitations of sight. Emily's spirit, a cascade of emotions and memories, seemed to weave itself into their very beings, a connection that traversed the boundaries of the physical and the metaphysical. It was a moment of shared understanding, a communion of souls that defied explanation. The darkness lifted as swiftly as it had descended, leaving behind a profound sense of calm that permeated the room. The friends emerged from the chamber, their hearts heavy yet strangely uplifted by the encounter they had shared. The tattered teddy bear, a symbol of innocence and loss, remained behind as a silent tribute to Emily's spirit and the catharsis that their encounter had wrought. As they stepped out of the forgotten hotel and into the first light of dawn, the air felt different, as if the very fabric of the world had shifted under the weight of their experiences. The hotel, once a dormant relic of the past, now stood as a living testament to the power of connection and the resilience of the human spirit. Their journey, a fusion of curiosity and courage, had not only unveiled the haunting tale of Emily Harrington but had also revealed the interconnectedness of all existence, where the boundaries between life and death, reality and the supernatural, were blurred by the enduring threads of shared stories.